And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes back for the second time today, possibly the last. We'll see what happens with the 2K Festival. So as you're aware, the 2K Festival has pretty much collapsed the market. I did do a video of the top 10 cards under 50K available. Yesterday I dropped that. Now with that being said, we did have a couple new additions to the ring I did want to point out before we get started. Before we even start doing that, though, please drop a like. Give me up to 50 likes, man, please. Other than that, comment down below what you think of the 2K Festival this year. I don't know, man. It's hard to tell. I can't really tell you how I feel about it. But I wanted to talk about a couple cards real quick that I said may drop below 50K, and they did. Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy was going for about 49 a little bit ago. I was just looking at him. So he could still be up, but I think he's actually going to drop below 50 at 57. 58. Come on. I know one of you guys put him up or lower. 56. Yeah, once some of these cards stop selling, I think he does drop below 50. And if Brandon Roy drops below 50, I think he's absolutely a absolute steal, especially if you get one from someone who badged him up. He'll get a lot better. So I just wanted to talk about that because I said that might happen, and it did. Gilbert Arenas is another guy to look at. He might actually be a lot lower than I've anticipated as well. So just kind of keep up on that. We'll see how it goes. I'm glad I sold him for 96 because he looks to be going a little lower. So with that being said, we'll start off with some honorable mentions for this list. This is going to be the top 10 cards under 10K. So all my budget ballers out there, I got a nice list of cards that you can get for 10K to keep your budget squad looking tight. So we'll start with some honorable mentions. So one honorable mention, I will say right off the bat, is Donovan Mitchell. And the reason he's an honorable mention and is not on the list is because his price has fluctuated. Sometimes he's below 10,000, other times he's above. It just kind of depends. So it's something to we'll look into because he's literally one of the best point guards in the game. So let's go to 11. Oops, Amethyst. Yes. Nope, not Diamond. My bad. Amethyst. So if you can get him for around this price, which it's been a little tricky, he'll go under 10K for a little bit and then he'll go over. Either way, he's still, I believe, under 15K, possibly maybe more. I bought a couple at 8, 9K, speculative. So yeah, he looks to be around 16K right now, but it's possible he does drop. So definitely look into that. He's someone to look into. He's one of the best point guards in this game, let alone Amethyst guys. So that I do not... I truly believe that. He's really that good. So we'll set our thing up to 10,000 just to make sure. So I'll only show you the ones below 10,000. And we'll go to Diamond here. And my next honorable mention guy that I wanted to talk about is DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, yes, he cannot shoot threes. That is correct. But getting a point guard at this caliber, shooting guard at this caliber for under 10K is absolutely absurd. You can get him as low as 7K, and that's the absolute cheapest diamond in this game. Yeah, he can't shoot threes, but especially if you're playing on next gen, he's a lot better. I would recommend going to check him out if you're in need of help at the shooting guard, especially one that rim runs at a very highly efficient level. Next up, we got one of my personal favorite cards in the game. Not a lot of people like this card, but I will say that's why I'm keeping it on the honorable mention. It's a very hit or miss card. Caron Butler, man. Caron Butler is really good. He's 6'7", plays a 2-guard, has corner specialist, Hoff, catch and shoot gold, finishing badges, defensive badges. He's got flexible, hot zone hunter. He's got an okay release. It's not great, but it's good nonetheless. He has a good stream of badges. You can find some that are a little more badged up too, but he's back in those not flash packs, but he's back in those super packs, so he's extremely cheap. You can get him for as low as 5K and below. He's a really good card, especially if you're in need of a 2-guard / small forward. Next up, another guy who's dipped a little bit lower, but he's kind of fluctuating, is Rafe LaFrentz. Rafe LaFrentz is really, really good. Granted, not the highest tier power forward / center, or center / power forward, technically. He's a really good option. He's a great shooting big man. He can stretch the floor, especially if you're in need of that. There's just not very many options below 10K of guys that can stretch the floor, and Rafe LaFrentz is a guy who can do that, so I recommend checking him out. And then the last two, I'm not going to go look up on the screen, but they're Bailey Howell, who's basically a T-Mac clone that plays small forward, power forward, and Sleepy Floyd, who's an all-around good point guard. Both those guys are around 5-6K. I highly recommend checking them out, but other than that, let's get on to the list. So the first card here is Tony Parker. Tony Parker, he's a really, really good card. I know a lot of people, especially content creators, kind of shit on this card. But he's actually really good. He has Hoff quick first step, Hoff downhill. He's a fast card. He shoots the ball really well. He's not the best defensively, just because he doesn't have clamps. Other than that, the rest of his tendencies and everything is fine. He's got good gold badges, good shooting badges. He's got gold floor general. If you're in need of a pure point guard under 10K, he's probably, in my opinion, the second best option as far as pure point guards go. So next up, we got our number 9 player, and this is my fucking guy, Tom Gugliotta. This fucking guy, number 1, multiple barbed wire tattoos, so you know he's safe right off the bat. 6'9", he plays well at the power forward and the small forward. His three-pointer needs some work. He's only at a 79, but if you use a dynamic duo with another guy on this list, he gets significantly better and actually becomes one of the best budget big men in the game. Silver catch and shoot, silver quick first step, and hot zone hunter. He can add some pretty decent badges, a lot of defensive badges, which would be necessary. Not a whole lot of shooting badges, but you can give him like flexible and deadeye, which I highly recommend giving him at least one of those. You can also give him range extender if you feel so inclined. Really, really good card, and you can badge him out to be an absolute budget beast that will do you well in not only unlimited, limited, and TTO, but also against the CPU too. He's a really good card. Now, the only reason I have him a little lower than this guy is because objectively, this guy has better dribble sigs and a better jump shot, and that's Boris Diaw. Boris Diaw is a Nicholas Batum clone, who Nicholas Batum is always really, really good in game. I personally prefer Tom Gugliotta, but I try to be objective with these lists, and Boris Diaw has a better jump shot, better dribble moves, he has longer arms, he's a little bit faster. So objectively, he's better. That being said, you could really go with either of these guys. Also, Boris Diaw comes off the rip with silver clamps and silver intimidator and rebound chaser, just overall better defensive badges, which make up the difference between his lack of shooting badges. He can still hit from wide open, especially from the corners, plus you can give him like deadeye and flexible. You can give him range extender too, and floor general. So you can badge this dude out to be an absolute beast. Plus, one thing he does that Tom Gugliotta does not, I said Gugliotta, is he can be a primary ball handler, unlike Tom Gugliotta. He's basically like a budget version of Draymond. So this guy is objectively better than Boris Diaw, I think anyway. Like I said, I prefer both the guys previous to this guy, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're worse than Derrick Coleman. Like, Derrick Coleman's actually pretty decent. Like, he really is. And the reason he is higher than Boris Diaw and Tom Gugliotta is because he can play the center position. And as far as centers who are big enough to hold down the center position and can spread the floor, Derrick Coleman's literally one of the only ones. 88 three-pointer. He's got driving dunk and standing dunk are not great. He's not handling the ball, but he's got 82 block, 83 interior defense. He's got good rebounding stats. 63 speed isn't terrible. He's got decent, I believe he has decent tendencies. Yeah, 79 block shot. The 88 foul tendency is a little sketch, but it is what it is. He's got okay badges, especially if you're a pick and roll guy. He's going to be good with that Hoff break wall. Gold catch and shoot, relentless finisher. He's got some post badges. He's got difficult shots. As far as upgradable badges, you can give him pretty much every shooting badge and facilitating badge in the game. Plus, some defensive badges like clamps and intimidator. Intimidator is something I definitely recommend giving him. Rim protector. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of badges you can give this guy. He can get pretty much everything in the game. I really do like Derrick Coleman. His jump shot is hit or miss. Like, some people like it, some people don't, but I have to be objective, and there's just not that many budget centers that can stretch the floor and play defense, and Derrick Coleman's really one of the only guys. So next up is one of my favorite cards in the entire game, though he's been overshadowed by some other guys, Richie Guerin. Richie Guerin, you're going to have to, if you're running him at point guard, which I recommend, you're going to have to apply some facilitating badges, but other than that, just off the rip, he comes with 25 golds, being catch and shoot, corner specialist, difficult shots, all important, relentless. He has an interceptor. Wow, I didn't even know he had that. Downhill, space creator, so he can hit those little step back three-pointers I love so much. Unpluckable, flexible, hot zone hunter. He does have steady, but it's no big deal. He's got that silver clamps, silver off ball. Dude, he is so good. But there are a few point guards that are a little bit better objectively. Now I'm going to talk about the last budget big guy, and you could argue Coleman's better, but I just think for size and jump shot, Andrea Bargnani is a better fit for 10K. Oh, he's gone up. Has Andrea Bargnani gone up? Oh, yeah, he did. Wow. He was down at about 8-9K earlier. So you know what? Just for continuity's sake, he was down at 10K like literally right before I recorded, so he must have been bought out. So keep an eye out for him. I'll swap him for DeMar DeRozan, so say DeMar DeRozan's here. That's that good. Either way. Next up, we got another shooting guard, and this guy's actually one of the more slept-on cards in the game, and that's Bingo Smith. Bingo Smith is really, really, really good. Like, he plays excellent defense, has a nice jump shot, he's got good speed, good size at the 2 guard. I mean, 6'5" isn't great, but it does the job. He's got long arms. He has a huge afro for no reason. Like, personally, I prefer Richie Guerin and the 2 guys ahead of Bingo Smith in this list as far as, you know, budget guards. But objectively, when you got a guy with, like, gold clamps, pick dodger, relentless finisher, he's got pretty much elite gold badges, unpluckable, flexible. He even has good silver badges with intimidator and corner specialist, handles for days, tight handles, and good badges that you can add to him to make him more of a facilitator, more of a shooter, etc. He's got good stats as well. Objectively, he, I think, is maybe a little better. I'm just more comfortable with the next 3 guys that we have on the list. But this guy's an excellent, especially if you need help at the shooting guard position and you need someone who can shoot and play D, and even handle the ball, because Bingo Smith does operate as a point guard that plays shooting guard, if that makes sense. Bingo Smith is an absolutely elite option. So next up, we got Ricky Rubio. Literally one of the best pure point guards in this entire game. Honestly, I wouldn't even recommend buying him. Like, I recommend going and picking him up for 3 tokens. Like, you get him, Haslam, and Steph Curry for 3 tokens right now. I highly recommend doing that. You get all 3 of them. It's crazy. Rubio's insane. If you used all your tokens for whatever reason, you can pick up Rubio for like 4K. He's got a lightning fast jump shot. I like it. Some people don't. He's got great badges, great upgradable badges, more importantly. Comes with that silver clamps, corner specialist. You can give him like difficult shots, which would help. He's more of a attack the rim type of point guard. Giving him like pro touch and giant slayer, not a bad idea. Obviously flexible helps a lot. Hot zone hunter. You could do without range. It's not really a big idea. But if you're looking for more of a pure point guard akin to like Tony Parker, I think Rubio is absolutely the best option. And he goes with a guy I didn't put on this list, but he has a dynamic duo with Andrew Wiggins. And that is actually a lights out duo. So something I highly recommend checking out. I believe it's Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, I think it is. Anyways, so we got our number 2 guy, who I think is incredible. You could argue that Bingo Smith deserves to be here, Rubio. I mean, I would even listen to you if you wanted to argue that like Richie Guerin or Tony Parker deserves to be in this spot. But for my money, Steve Francis is the most elite option. Great badges, great animations, great jump shot. He is literally a diamond disguised as an amethyst. He only has that silver steady, so it's not really that big of a deal. I recommend upgrading his floor general and his dimer to make him more of a pure point guard, but he comes standard with that bronze range, which can be upgraded. Not that I recommend doing that, but if you are running him as your primary point guard, I think it's probably a good idea to upgrade that personally. But altogether, Steve Francis is one of my favorite amethysts in this game. He's absolutely absurd. Like, objectively, Donovan Mitchell is a better point guard. Granted, he kind of fluctuates above and below 10K, but spending the extra 1,000 MT to get Donovan Mitchell, I will tell you right now, that's a better option. Like, overall. I prefer Steve Francis, but that's just because I've been using Steve Francis in 2K for a really, really long time. So I'm very, very used to Steve Francis and the way he operates. So that's why I prefer him over Donovan Mitchell. But objectively, Donovan Mitchell is a far superior card. If you can get him for even 1,000 to 2,000 more, around 11 or 12K, I recommend doing that over Steve Francis. That being said, for under 10K, Steve Francis is the second best card you can buy. And number 1 is a Ruby, and if you guys watch my channel at all over the past week, you knew this shit was coming. Rex Chapman, dude. Rex Chapman you can get for like 2K, 3K at the very, very most. Rex Chapman is fucking absurd. Number 1, he has a duo with Tom Gugliotta, which makes them both better. He has elite offensive badges, catch and shoot, corner specials, difficult shots. fast break finisher, quick first step gold, tight handles, flexible release, hot zone hunter, gold range extender, tireless shooter, volume shooter. His silver badges are not even that bad either. Ankle breaker, fancy footwork, and pro touch. As far as upgradable badges, you can upgrade literally every badge he has. In addition to that, giving him like a badge like relentless finisher, dimer, pickpocket, heart crusher, and intimidator, interceptor. Yeah, you can give him elite badges. He doesn't even need any shooting badges because he's already lights out. He has a Ray Allen based jump shot, which if you don't know about the Ray Allen based jump shot, I would give him Deadeye, to be honest. I haven't put Deadeye on it, but I will. The Ray Allen based jump shot makes the most slightly lates and slightly right, so I was going to say slightly rights, slightly earlies in this entire game, and it's not particularly close. Also, like with his upper, it's actually easier to green than Ray Allen's too, in my opinion. So not only are you getting the best of both worlds, where you get a lot of slightly right or slightly earlies, slightly lates, or full whites as you want to call them, you're also getting an easier to green jump shot as well. That being said, he has a lightning quick step back 3, and if you're over on next gen, he does have that badge that allows step back 3, so that's something you definitely want to look into. I think it's not even particularly close that Rex Chapman is the best Ruby in this entire game, but I think he's one of the best cards under a diamond tier in this entire game, and I'd be willing to say that he is as good as some pink diamonds. Look, I get it, you're like, what? No, I promise he is, and I will show you right now. Shout out to my man Mills for pointing this out in the first place, but Season of Giving, Devin Booker, right? Okay, yeah, I know this, follow me, okay? Where is my man? Let's hit the Ruby section. Rex Chapman, okay, you look at the overalls, you're like, oh, this is bullshit. Well, number one, 0.1 Rex Chapman, his jump shot, A, is just easier to time, B, makes more whites, his dribble moves are better. When you look at the stats, there's only a 3-point difference in three-point shot, which is not huge, especially when they have a better jump shot in the first place. Rex Chapman runs the rim a lot better. His ball handle is only 1 less. His interior defense is better. It doesn't really mean anything. He's got a better steal. He rebounds on the offense a little better. He's faster. Yeah, he's got more lateral quickness too. Yeah. Yeah, and then when you look at tendencies, like, he's got better in every single defensive tendency. Look, I'm not going to argue here and say that Rex Chapman is better than Devin Booker. My point being is that Rex Chapman, as a Ruby, is not that far off from Devin Booker, the pink diamond. That's what I'm trying to get at here. That Hall of Fame Deadeye is kind of huge, but honestly, you can boost Rex Chapman up to a gold Deadeye. It's not that different. As far as badges go, like, they have basically the same gold badges. I know you're sitting here like, this motherfucker is wilding right now. Nah, Rex Chapman is just so good. I love Rex Chapman. So anyways, guys, I hope that helped you out in any way, shape, or form, especially my budget people out there. Any of these guys would be great for TTO as well. That was one thing I tried to do with that list, is make sure that all 10 guys were good and usable at every single game mode. Not only would I run every single one of these guys in every game mode in the game, whether that be like domination against the CPU challenges, triple threat offline, limited, unlimited, triple threat online, especially for a lot of these guys. I would run these guys at every one of those modes, and I have run them at every one of those modes. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you're new and you're still here, subscribe to the channel. Like this video, comment down below what you think of MT Festival or My Team Festival. Check the description for all my other stuff, and I'll be back literally every day with new 2K21 content. I upload daily content. I'm not going to sit here and say that I upload more than anyone else, because, you know, obviously there's dudes who I'm not going to say their name who upload like 47 videos a day. So I don't do that, but I will keep you going with quality content and try to help you guys out. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. I appreciate every one of my subs, man. Peace.